You're listening to Straight Outta Motherhood Mom Humour Podcast, featured weekly on their local radio show, The Motherhood Radio, KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui. Broadcasting out of the south end of Maui, Hawaii, here's your hosts, Ali B and Sarah Rodriguez.
And we're broadcasting Straight Outta Motherhood.
Yep, broadcasting.
I think it's podcast number 10 now.
I don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
I've lost track.
We might have to just lose track of the whole counting thing because
I know, that's going to be hard. Yeah, right? We got a lot of things to worry about. I
have
don't
to
know if I
worry
can
about
keep count.
What, do my kids go to school today? Oh, they don't.
Right.
For another 100 million hours.
Oh, mine's in daycare.
I know, I love that. You know, I dropped my son off at that drop-in
Oh,
daycare
yeah, that was
yesterday.
awesome.
It was so awesome.
And he loved it.
Yeah, and I think drop-in daycares, they're getting a big thumbs
Like,
up from
and
me.
especially like a drop-in daycare at a mall. Like, what a fantastic idea. Like, mommy's like, I'm going to go get a manicure and pedicure,
You know
go a little shopping, kids in the play area.
Did you know that Las Vegas has some drop-in daycares?
Oh, I could see that.
Inside the casinos, like that.
Do they really?
Like I think it's Texas Station.
It's like,
actually.
okay, mommy's about to get real drunk and spend a lot of money. You just playing here.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll remember where you are.
Right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that can get really bad. Like kids there, like at nighttime, like, oh, mom didn't come back. Well, like workers are like, what do we do with all these kids? The parents never come back
They
for
keep
them.
shift changing, so no one ever knows if
Oh,
the kid
yeah.
is still there. Oh my god, that could be so
The
horrible.
kid's like, I haven't seen my mom in days.
Oh my god, so all you moms out there in the universe, we have a couple awesome topics to talk about. I mean, if you don't notice how we already look today, we're just looking glamorous as always.
We're looking very glamorous for a reason.
That's going to be our first topic, actually, is how glamorous Sarah looks with her beautiful hat on. You know, something that we've really been into lately has been essential oils, and big thumbs up to everybody in the essential oil world that we've met recently. But what we didn't realize is that you can go extremely bad with essential oils really quickly. And I think that's exactly what happened in this instance with this one over here.
So let me tell you the story. I was feeling a little under the weather. And like most of us do, we Google, well, what can I do, home remedies to get a little better?
Right.
And in my medicine cabinet, I have the essential oil oregano, doTERRA oregano.
Uh-huh.
You know, I got like the little starter health kit. And
You're like, this sounds like a good idea.
so I read on several sites. You know, it's not just like one ghetto ass site that I checked out. I researched for a good few minutes, and multiple sites said you could like really cut your cold in half or cure your cold by taking a little bit of essential oil oregano. It's got like really great properties, to like fight colds. And so I was like, oh, I got that in my medicine cabinet. So I took one single drop and I put it in a glass of water, like a big glass, like a mason jar of water, just one single drop. Well, I mean, that doesn't mix well with water. So it just kind of like floated onto the top.
Oh,
so then when I drank it like coated my lips and it started to burn. And so I was splashing water on it, but it just made it worse.
The one thing that Bianca told us not to do. She said get the coconut oil and smear it on there and then wipe it off.
Yeah, that's how you get rid of the oil. If it's starting to burn, that's how you
Slather
get the oil.
yourself in
Don't
oil.
put water. Don't
Slather
put water.
yourself with oil.
More oil, coconut oil. So I'm like, burning. And it went away after 10 minutes. And it was just like red, so I was like, oh, it's just like a sunburn. I'll just treat it like a sunburn. No big deal, right? No big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So I didn't realize. I was just like, whatever, it's just red. Well, 3 days later, I get a ticket to the Taste of Wailea. One of my friends and somebody that we know, Jay from Akaku Community Media Center, he was like, oh, I have an extra ticket. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, I want to go to the Taste of Wailea. Hell yeah, I'm a filmmaker. This place is like swarming with other filmmakers. Fuck yeah, I want to go.
Yeah.
So I go and get my pretty dress on, some heels, get my makeup, done really nice. nice, and I'm walking around the taste of Wailea, the fancy taste of Wailea with my wine.
Oh my God, Maui's finest.
And my delicious food, and I'm like, ooh, face feeling a little weird, a little puffy. And so I'm like, nope, it's hot, it's in the sun, it's a little hot, so, I'm like, maybe I'm just like a little dehydrated.
We're in the sun.
I was in the sun too. And then, so no big deal, I'm walking around a little bit more, then I'm like, ooh, my lips are feeling a little tingly. I'm like, I better go check this out. So I go to the bathroom and I look in the mirror, and I'm blowing up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm blowing up.
You're like...
I'm like, slowly, and I'm like, I should probably get out of here. Luckily, it was like an early event, and it ends at 7.
Oh my
and
God.
so like Jail's like, oh, let's go, like.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head up, going home. And by the time I get home, I'm really starting to blow up.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning, I look like I have a bad lip injection, like from like a third world country surgeon. Like, it's huge, and I'm freaking out, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Luckily, Coco's dad, her grandpa, lives in France, so it's 2 p.m. there, and he's a doctor.
Oh, thank God.
So I was able to literally get a hold of him, right away. And I should tell you the questions he asked me so that they know.
In case if you experience
this was an allergic reaction. This happened 3 days later, and after I did some research, this can happen anywhere from 24 to 72 hours if you have an allergic reaction to the oil. That's when it is going to start flaring up. It's not going to happen right away.
I think they say that about also food poisoning too.
Yep, it takes a few days for it to like get into your system, and this was a pretty severe. He said it was a severe allergic reaction when that happens. So the first thing he asked me was, is it just like stationary, or is it like all over, like the swelling? And I was like, okay, it's stationary. It's just like my lips where I drink. And he was like, okay. And then he was how is your breathing? That was the big one. He was like, are you breathing okay? Has it affected your breathing? And that's like, I think the biggest one, because after I said no, he seemed a little bit more relieved, and he was like, okay, so you need an antihistamine, or something else, a Bioxic or something like that, he said. So find like a medication that would be like, Benadryl or
that.
Zyrtec or something like that, Claritin. Which Claritin is actually very low dose, so if this happens to you, like, get a good antihistamine. Get some Zyrtec, I think is the highest one. That's what I've been taking. That's just like over the counter. So I got some over the counter antihistamines, and then he said, treat your lips just as it was a burn, because it started to swell up and it started to blister. Blister really, really, really bad. So I was putting castor oil. Castor oil is a really great thing to put on burn because it's got a very unique property that it actually can tell the cells apart, which is abnormal to good cells.
Yeah, but be careful with that. Like, don't just, if you have like a 5th degree burn on your body because you got...
Oh, no, that's you need a hospital. Like, this is for like 2nd degree burn. Like, if this is anything more, I talked to a doctor and I was able, but go see a doctor. Go see a doctor.
I don't understand this castor oil deal. Like,
castor oil is, you need to do some research on castor oil.
It's like car oil.
It has some really amazing properties in it.
There's amazing properties in poop. Are you going to say
No, people have been using it for years and years. And I think when I told him I'm using castor, he was like, great. Like, I guess because they have a background in Moroccan, and it's big in like Morocco where they use castor oil in a lot of for health benefits. Right. So I've been just doing that, and for like the past couple days, like my lips have like crusted over. And
it's not too bad now.
It's not too bad now, no. And I think I'll be fine once it's just gonna be a little unsightly for a couple weeks.
Lips heal really good. They usually heal pretty fast.
Yeah, it's healing faster than I thought it would too. So, but that's the story.
Wow. So I guess the moral of the story is
do your research.
Do your research on the oils. Because,
yeah,
I burned my face with the same type of oil.
The same
oregano oil, and we were like, we just didn't know about oils yet, and we were just he was literally opening up lemon oil and like eating it. Like, and I'm like, I don't know if that's
Did you
really
do that?
safe or anything, but
And there's a lot of misinformation out there on the internet. Like I checked multiple sites and it like seemed okay what I did, and it definitely wasn't okay for me. So make sure if you're gonna like try a new oil, take a very, very, very small amount and reduce it with or dilute it with some oil and try it in a very inconspicuous spot, like just to check it out and see, because you could be allergic to this or it could not agree with you. And like for me, I wish I would have checked it out rather than just being like, I'm just gonna give it a go.
Well, you're super organic. I'm like one of those regular people that takes NyQuil or like Tylenol. You're like, oregano oil. I'm like, I have like 1,000 oils on my counter, and I would never think. I never ingest them. Like I tried to cook with it once, and I was like, this is really strong.
Really? Yeah, you only need a little bit when you cook.
Yeah,
very small.
Really strong. Okay, so the next topic that I thought would be interesting was a topic that I saw on the news today, talking about anxiety and how your anxiety can actually turn into be your biggest success. Because some of the most successful people in the world have high anxiety.
I mean, what brought us to do everything that we do is anxiety. That has definitely driven me to like take the risks that I have.
Right. And so people that live with their fears, just always having them, never get past them. They never actually move past that. But you know, if you really jump on your biggest fear, it can turn into your biggest success. You know?
It's like success is just on the other side of fear.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Ooh, I like that.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
I really like that.
Yeah, you know, so you should use your biggest anxieties to do something that you've always wanted to do.
Right?
You know? I guess
be uncomfortable. Put yourself in an uncomfortable...
I would not saying like jump out of a plane.
Well, I mean, if you want to go skydiving.
I mean, but that's not gonna like change your life like in a positive way. Like I was talking with my cousin last night about retiring. She's retiring from the education. She is a lunchroom lady in the mainland, and she's been doing that for like 20 years or 30 years, and she's gonna retire, and she's like, what am I gonna do with my time now? And I'm like, well, what are you passionate about? What's your biggest fear?
Yeah.
Something that you've always wanted to do but you were too scared to do.
And what did she say?
She said she is a very closed off person who doesn't like, you know, she shuts down, you know, she gets in her little bubble, but she'd really like to do Meals on Wheels and talk to elderly people.
Oh,
and I thought that's so great, right?
That's a great one. That's
you have
really
so
sweet.
many years to live on this earth. You know, you don't just stop when your kids grow up. So.
Nope.
You should really be getting your life right now where your kids are little, so then when they move on to get their lives,
right, you got a life.
You're like, girl, I got my life already. It's amazing.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That's a good one.
So you wanted to talk about a product that you
I do, but you know what? I should have looked up what the actual product was called.
Okay, so then we'll forget that.
We'll forget that.
Okay,
we'll do another time.
Okay, so you know what? Our last topic I thought would be interesting to talk about is taking the dramas that we have in our family and turning them into positives.
I like this topic.
I mean, it's not really humorous so much, but it can be, because you know your family could be fucked up. You can have some like ghetto, like I took my husband home for the first time to my cousin's house that I, for the most part, had a good experience at their house, and they made a casserole for my husband. It was cottage cheese with egg noodles and ground beef and cheese, and it was baked, and sour cream. It was baked in the oven, and then and it was the most horrible thing that we've ever eaten in my life. And he still holds like, I don't want to eat that white people food because you know I'm Puerto Rican.
Right, we don't do casseroles.
He's like, we ain't doing that casserole. We just throw stuff in a casserole. No casseroles around here.
I don't do casseroles either.
Yeah,
I'm a big like.
Are you serious?
I don't do it. No, Puerto Ricans don't do casseroles. He's right. Puerto Ricans don't do it. We're like, what? This is a bunch of shit just in a pan baked. What the hell is that?
Are you serious?
I'm not even joking. That is a typical Puerto Rican would have that same exact reaction.
He told me that. He was like, no, I don't want no damn casserole. Don't be making nothing with no golden calling it a golden casserole, golden schmolden, disgusting white people food. I'm like, this is horrible. So like his first experience with my family was like country bumpkin, basically. You know.
This is so funny to me.
You know, so like my family is kind of like weird. Like not to throw any of my family members under the bus. We'll just like keep them discreet.
A lot of people love casseroles.
You know,
a lot of people like casseroles.
Our family's like really broken up or whatever. So like I'm trying to like bring my family back together.
Good for yeah.
Although like some of us have some weird issues, we gotta like kind of get past it a little bit and understand that we don't actually have to live with our family members.
No.
Right?
No.
We can live our lives and be in control of our own lives and still
have some contact and
entertain the idea of having a relationship with them. You know, because people change through the years.
Exactly. We grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Give them
So
another
I think
chance.
that's like my position, I think, is going to be in my family.
I
too.
really like that. It's a good position. The mediator. I could see you being the mediator.
Yeah,
You're the one that brings up shit that nobody else wants to talk about.
I
They're
mean-
like, oh great, here's Allie. Cat's out of the bag, everybody.
I'm like, yeah, when I die, I want to be embalmed and then sitting at the table with you guys at the service. They're like, okay. I found out that my great-grandparents donated their bodies to science.
Which I thought was really kind of cool.
I thought it was
And
really
very-
cool, too. Like,
yeah.
everyone was like, oh. But I was like, you know, imagine all the people that it helped learn about bodies and stuff like that. And that
Exactly.
was, what? I mean, I'm 38, I think, 38 or 39, I don't even know how old I am. But my great-grandparents died when I was like 4 and 5 years old. So that's a good 30 years ago of learning.
Yeah.
So those people are pretty legit embalmers and body forensic people.
Wow, that's crazy.
Science is amazing.
Science.
Who knew? I sucked at science too, by the way. I failed every year since kindergarten. I can't grow anything, keep anything alive. I never could figure out what whale was what species, mammals,
You just weren't interested.
No.
I was bad at the stuff I wasn't interested in too.
I actually won every science fair though until 5th grade, like between 1st and 3rd place.
Because it was like artistic stuff that you had to do?
No, because my dad did it for
Nice.
me. That's so messed up. Don't do your kids' science projects for them. That's so messed up.
That is messed up.
Yeah, because then they don't learn, and then they're not sciencey. So I guess being a mediator has been
Science
pretty
is
cool.
important.
Got to hang out with my cousins, so it was cool.
That's nice. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for this
Yeah.
podcast, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So
What
back
else
to
talk about?
back to summer, moms. You guys
Summer.
hang in there until next week. You know? I
Be
know
careful with your oils.
Be careful with your oils. Be careful with the oils and going in the sun too.
Oh, there is a really
That's a
big thing with
huge-
citrus ones too. Do not put citrus on you and go out in the sun. I've seen some horrible things that have
Really?
happened to people, and the horrible thing too is that it like leaves it pigments your skin. Like it turns the pigment of your skin because of the citrus in it. So
I
you
always
could get
just wear
permanent.
oils. I literally put but I put it on my clothes mostly.
Yeah. Don't put them on your face and go out in the sun. Like
that's
that,
not
you
good.
could have a very, very horrible reaction.
Wow, that's
So
crazy.
be careful with these oils, guys.
Yeah,
It could be bad.
it could be
Yeah.
really
It has been bad. I've seen cases like, oh, I don't understand. There's these hot oils. Why don't you put a damn red cap on these hot oils to let us know that these are hot and to be extra cautious of these hot ass oils?
I don't understand that. Didn't we do like 10 oil episodes?
Yeah,
I mean,
and nobody has ever talked about hot oils. Be careful of these hot oils.
I think Bianca has told us some.
Oh,
oils are
Bianca
hot, but I
probably
think
has,
We
but-
didn't write that down or something.
But I think that's like something that should be a big,
There
big
should
thing.
Totally be like a label that comes with it that says hot oils, citrus oils, and this, and like a beware thing.
Yeah, right? Right.
Unless you're just gonna diffuse them in your house. or
Yeah.
use them.
I mean, I just think this information should really be like at the top of like
If
when
you
you
care
buy
about-
oils, like this should be the first thing. Like, so there are different kinds of oils. You could have a bad reaction to oils.
If you
be
care
mindful
about
of
your
the
face.
oils.
If you care about your face.
Right?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so all right, well we are done with this episode. We will see you guys next week. Until then, stay sane,
Stay sane, stay sane, and fake it till you make it.
That's right, ladies. Peace.
For more information, check out straightoutofmotherhood.com. And for more information on how you can be a guest, send an email to straightoutofmotherhood.com.